A fabulous day for baseball on the last day of May. Good afternoon, Les Lazaruk with you as this is Barry's Baseball as we come to you on FloCollege for this season. It is the home opener for the Saskatoon Berries, their second season of existence in the Western Canadian Baseball League, and today they'll play host to their big city Saskatchewan rivals, the Regina Red Sox. It's a great afternoon, as I mentioned, an outstanding weather day with the exception of a little bit of the smoke from the wildfires up to the north. The current conditions, according to Environment Canada, 27 degrees Celsius, smoky skies, a little bit, not as bad as it was yesterday here in the city. The wind out of the southeast at 15 kilometers per hour. So here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, the home of the Saskatoon Berries, that wind will blow balls towards the left field foul pole if they're in the air. Berries off to a better start this year than they did last year. Last year they started off 0-5, but boy, did they have a great run the rest of the way into the end of the season. Finished up with a record of 31 wins and 25 losses in their first season in the WCBL. Finished 7 games behind the Regina Red Sox, who were first place in the East Division. And then the Berries went on into the postseason and won their first round series with the Medicine Hat Mavericks before losing to the Moose Jaw Miller Express in the East Division final. For the Regina Red Sox, last year 38-18 under the direction of Rai Pathakos, who's back for another season at the helm of the Red Sox. Red Sox last year losing out in the first round of the playoffs to Moose Jaw after finishing in first in the East Division. The Berries have a 1-1 record. As I mentioned, they lost their first 5 games last season before recording a win. They won their second game last night in Moose Jaw by a score of 8-5 over the Miller Express after losing their opening game by a score of 9-0. That down in Weyburn against the Beavers. The Regina Red Sox are off to a very good start, though. They have won their first 2 games, winning their opener at home back on Friday. And actually, we got 2024 up here. Let's bring it on to 2025 and tell you that they're 2-0 to start the year. And let's see here. They beat Swift Current at home 11-1 back on Thursday night, and last night winning in Weyburn by a score of 5-0. So the Red Sox off to a good start, 2-0, but are in second place in the East Division so far because the Medicine Hat Mavericks have played 4 games already and have won them all. Mavericks are 3-0, Red Sox 2-0, Weyburn and Saskatoon next at 1-1, Swift Current and Moose Jaw both 0-2 to start and very, very early into the season. Let's take a look at the lineups for today's game. First of all, for the visiting Regina Red Sox, their leadoff hitter, again under the direction of Rai Pathakos, their head coach. The shortstop Matthew Fox is the leadoff hitter. Jordan Tucker in left field bats second. Riley Bender is the third baseman batting third. Jaden Kalura is the catcher batting in the cleanup spot. James Wright is the first baseman batting fifth, but right now we've got our national anthem. Continuing on that batting order for the Regina Red Sox. Batting sixth is the center fielder Raphael Jackson. In the 7 hole is the right fielder Justin Simard. Regina product Brady Bye is the designated hitter for the Red Sox. And batting ninth, the second baseman Sam Baker. The starting pitcher for the Regina Red Sox is a veteran from the Red Sox, pitched last year with a 6-2 record. Colton Anderson is a left-hander who will start today. Coming out of Rogers State University. He's a lefty and will pitch today for the Regina Red Sox against the Saskatoon Berries. That lineup for Regina will face the Berries' opening day pitcher, or home opening pitcher, and that's Matt Whitney, who's a newcomer to the team. Whitney is coming off his senior year in college at West Texas A&M. He's 6'5", 205-pounder out of Plantation, Florida. And at West Texas A&M this past winter, 14 appearances, 2 starts, a 1-0 record with a 3.34 earned run average. So Matt Whitney looks to get the Berries off to a good start pitching-wise here today. The Berries lineup defensively for Joe Carnahan, the head coach, as he goes out to meet up with the umpires, and Regina Red Sox head coach Ry Pathakos. They'll exchange lineup cards. Jalen Freeman is in center field. The right fielder is Ethan Murdoch, and the left fielder is Turner Zadunik. Around the infield from left to right, Cooper Westland is the third baseman. Nathan Houston out of Melville, Saskatchewan is the shortstop. Second baseman is Abiam Medina, and at first base is local product Corey Waters. The catcher today is Balin Sorensen. Matt Whitney is the pitcher. Cam Marshak is the designated hitter today for the Saskatoon Berries. As they meet with the umpires, the crew that's behind home plate today is Aaron Roberts. Scott Mills is the umpire at first base, and Scott Mostaway has the second and third base responsibilities. So just a couple of moments away from getting this one underway as the lineup cards are exchanged. This will be the first of, I believe, 8 meetings again this year. These teams would have played 8 times last year. The Red Sox having a bit of an edge, winning 5 out of 8. As they go through the ground rules, and we get ready for the home opener start to 2025 for the Saskatoon Berries. Again, they're 1-1, Regina 2-0. For the Red Sox, it'll be Matthew Fox leading it off out of Huntington Beach, California. Shortstop, he's tall for a shortstop at 6'4", 200 pounds. Coming off his freshman year at Golden West Community College. We have a ceremonial first pitch to come. Young lady going to make that ceremonial first pitch. Tossing it down to the Berries, Carson Obrecht out of Omaha, Nebraska, and Wayne State College, doing the honors of the first pitch. And momentarily, the Berries will take the field, and away we go. Meeting at the home plate is done. And we're just moments away from the start. There's always that anticipation of that first game. The first pitch, the home plate umpire saying play ball. Photographer Steve Hiscock getting his pictures in, taking a shot of the umpiring crew. And we've got a ball out to the pitcher's mound, and we're just about ready to go. The call goes out from public address announcer Simon Hyatt. And away we go, I believe, once we get some people out on the field. Just a little bit of a delay here. Again, a gorgeous afternoon. We'll update the weather here momentarily. 27 degrees Celsius. Southeast wind 15 kilometers per hour. Well, they're going to do things a little differently this season. They're all going to gather around first base rather than coming out individually onto the field as they did last year. And there they go. Matt Whitney is the pitcher, making his Western Canadian Baseball League debut. Wearing number 15 on his baby blue, on the back of his baby blue jersey. Curious to see what he throws. What combination of pitches he'll come up with to try and baffle the Regina Red Sox hitters here on this late Saturday afternoon, the home opener for the Berries. Balin Sorensen is his catcher. Corey Waters at first base. Abia Medina is at second. Shortstop is Nathan Houston out of Belleville, Saskatchewan. Via Louisiana Tech University is where he played this past year as a sophomore. Third baseman is Cooper Westland. And around the outfielder, it's in right field, it is Ethan Murdoch. Jalen Freeman. Lots of speed out of him. Came to the team late last year and already has 4 stolen bases through the first 2 games at the leadoff spot. And in left field, it's Turner Zadunik out of High River, Alberta, coming off his freshman year at Colby Community College. So here comes Whitney's last warm-up toss. Sorensen will toss it down to second base, and Matthew Fox approaches the plate. We'll get this one underway. Fox, right-handed hitter. Whitney out of the stretch. And a line drive to down the left field line, but foul. So a strike on the opening pitch of the ball game. Fox 4 for 11 to start the year through the first 2 games with runs scored. Also has 3 runs batted in. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Off-speed delivery from Matt Whitney. Looked like a curveball. 0-2. Two-strike pitch, swung on and lifted in the air down the right field line. Twisting foul, it'll land in foul territory, so the count remains 0-2 on Matthew Fox. Jordan Tucker, the left fielder, is on deck. Once again, a two-strike pitch. Fouled again, up in the air. Could it be in play? Sorensen coming over near the screen. He's got it. Balin Sorensen with some nice hustle. That went up in the air. And it ended up being caught just before the fence between the backstop and the Berries dugout. So a foul out to the catcher for the first out. And now up on the for the Red Sox is left fielder Jordan Tucker. First pitch swinging, line drive, come on, great stab at third base. Cooper Westland dives to his left and comes up with that ball scorched down the third base line to his left. 2 away. Great defense already from the Berries. Something that they need to improve on off of their first 2 games, as they had 4 errors in game 1 and a couple of more in their second game last night. Curveball first pitch into Riley Bender is down low and inside for a ball. Whitney delivers on the ground towards second base. Fielded there by Medina. The throw on to Waters at first, and a 3 up, 3 down. Top of the first inning for the Regina Red Sox. No runs, no hits, no Saskatoon errors. Nobody left on base. And after half an inning with the Berries coming to bat for the first time in 2025 at home, it is scoreless between the Regina Red Sox and the Saskatoon Berries. As you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. All right, bottom of the first inning here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Saskatoon Berries coming to bat. They'll have Jalen Freeman, their center fielder, leading things off. Then it'll be Nathan Houston at shortstop, batting second, and Ethan Murdoch, the right fielder, batting third, guaranteed to be up this inning, as they will face the Regina pitcher today, Colton Anderson. I mentioned Anderson in his second year with the Red Sox. Last season, pitched in 11 games, started 7, had a 6-win, 2-loss record, an earned run average of 2.93. He also had a save, did Colton Anderson last season. Struck out 64 and walked 49, struck out 64 and walked 16 in 49 innings. So here's Jalen Freeman to lead it off for the Berries. Freeman 0 for 6 to start in the first 2 games, but has been on base enough to steal 4 bases. And left-hander Anderson's first delivery is in for a strike. Out of the full windup for Anderson. 1 strike pitch is on the outside corner, strike 2. Mentioned Freeman came to the team late last season. Speedy center fielder. 2-strike pitch. Swung on and missed. A foul tip and one away. So Nathan Houston coming to the plate now for the Berries. Houston 2 for 8 with a run scored, a double for one of his hits. Right-hand hitter. First pitch swinging on the ground towards the shortstop. Fielded cleanly, and the throw on to first in time. So 2 away quickly for the Berries here in the bottom of the first inning. So Ethan Murdoch to the plate now. Murdoch is the right fielder today for Joe Carnahan, coming off his senior year at Marshall University, and takes the first pitch strike from Colton Anderson. Quickly working Anderson, a swing and a miss by Murdoch. 2 strikes. Two-strike pitch coming from Anderson to Murdoch. Bounces a curveball in. And it's ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Murdoch from Swift Current. 6'2", 205-pound right-handed hitter. This one chopped foul. No, it's up the third base line. Fielded cleanly. The throw on to first. A collision there between Murdoch and the first baseman, who holds on to the ball. A good job by the Red Sox first baseman, James Wright, to hang on to that wayward throw from the Red Sox third baseman, Riley Bender. Was up the line into the runner, and Murdoch collides with Wright, who holds on for the third out. So 3 up, 3 down again. We had yet to have a base runner through the first inning here in this ball game between the Berries and the Regina Red Sox. No runs, no hits, no Regina errors, nobody left on base. Through 1 complete, it is scoreless between the Saskatoon Berries and the Regina Red Sox as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Waiting on our first base runner of this game through 1 inning of play as we head to the top of the second inning. And the Regina Red Sox will come up with catcher Jaden Kalura, left-handed hitting catcher. Kalura off to a good start this year with 4 hits and 8 at-bats through the first 2 games, hitting .500. 1 run scored. Left-handed hitting catcher against the left-handed pitching Matt Whitney. And a first pitch just outside and low, ball 1. One 0 pitched is on the outside corner. Strike 1. Kalura from Hammond, Louisiana, coming off his senior year at Nicholls State University. 1-1 pitch, swung on and hit high in the air. Shallow right field, coming in a few steps is the right fielder Ethan Murdoch to make the catch. And there's 1 away. It'll bring up the first baseman, James Wright. Wright, 4 for 9 to start the year off. 2 runs scored. 1 of his 4 hits a double. Also has an RBI to his credit. Whitney's first pitch swung on. 1 hopper right to the third baseman, Westland, and the throw across the diamond in plenty of time. And there's 2 away quickly here in the top of the second inning. So now it's center fielder Raphael Jackson coming to the plate. 2 for 8 with 2 runs scored and a couple of RBI for the Regina center fielder. Jackson from the Virgin Islands. Left-hand hitter. Swing and a miss at the first pitch. Strike one. Raphael Jackson coming off his senior year at Point University. Matt Whitney ready to go. He doesn't go out of the windup, just out of the stretch, and pours another pitch in for a strike. Had a very efficient first inning, and looking to do the same here in the second against Raphael Jackson. 2 away, 2-strike pitch upcoming. Just off the outside corner. That was a good pitch. A good take by Raphael Jackson. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. Top of the second inning. An off-speed pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3. First strikeout of the afternoon for Matt Whitney. And again, 3 up, 3 down for Regina in the top of the second inning. So after an inning and a half here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, here in Saskatoon, opening day for the Berries. Scoreless as we go to the bottom of the second inning. As you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Back for the bottom of the second inning here at Next Gen Cairns Field. Saturday afternoon home opener. Update those weather conditions. 28 degrees now. Sky's still a little bit on the smoky side, but again, not nearly as bad as it was to start yesterday. Wind out of the south, gusting upwards of 28 kilometers per hour. As the throw down by Jaden Kalura. We'll get the ball back around. It'll be the middle third of the Berries order, starting off with catcher Balin Sorensen for the Berries. Sorensen, a second-year member of the Berries. Like Jalen Freeman, off to a bit of a slow start at the plate, 0 for 6, but has a run scored. Has walked 3 times. Coming off his senior year at Southern Louisiana University. Right-hand hitter against left-handed pitching Colton Anderson. First pitch swung on down the first base line and through for a base hit. First base runner of the ball game. Sorensen turns first, heads for second, and he'll get in there with a diving throw. In there safely is Balin Sorensen, his first hit of the year. And the Berries' first base runner to get the fans excited here at Next Gen Patch Cairns Field. A runner on second base. A leadoff double for Balin Sorensen. That'll bring up the second baseman, Abiam Medina. 2 for 7 with 2 runs scored. One of those hits a double, and 3 runs batted in for the newcomer's second baseman. Medina from Ponce, Puerto Rico. First pitch is in for a strike. Ball got away a little ways from Joey Kalura, but Sorensen does not advance. Anderson out of the stretch now for the first time. 1 strike pitch. Curveball outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sorensen at second with a leadoff double. 1-1 pitch fouled off over top of third base. Caught one of the guide wires on its way out of the ballpark area. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Colton Anderson ready with the 1-2 delivery. Curveball fouled off down the first baseline. Count remains at 1-2. Medina coming off his senior year at Texas A&M International University. 1-2 pitches inside, actually clipped him. So a hit batsman. So the first 2 men are on with nobody out for the Berries as they try and get something going here in the bottom of the second inning. Cooper Westland now the hitter. Third baseman who made a great play. Diving stop, diving catch of a line drive hit by Jordan Tucker back in the first inning. That was one of those 5-star plays you put down on the scorecard to remember defensively. Now he'll try and do something at the plate and shows bunt and takes a strike. Cooper Westland hitting .333 to start the year. 3 hits, 9 at-bats, a couple of RBI. Might be in a bunt situation as the corner infielders threaten to move in. Now Westland swings away and misses. 0-2. Nobody out. Runners on first and second for the Berries in the bottom of the second inning, looking to break the ice on the scoreboard here today in their home opener. This one's in the air, looping into right field. It'll fall. Sorensen had to wait and is going to be held up at third base. But a base hit, and the bases are loaded. Or as they like to say with the Berries, the bases are juiced. Nobody out. And Corey Waters is the batter. Waters, 1 hit and 8 at-bats through the first 2 games, does have an RBI. Of course, he's one of the Saskatoon connection on this team. Coming off his sophomore year at Winthrop University. First pitch swinging, he fouls it off. Ball ended up in front of home plate. Everybody's scrambling around, but home plate umpire Aaron Roberts makes the call pretty quick. There was a strike on the foul. Sorensen at third. Medina at second. Westland at first. Pitch high and away. Ball 1. Somebody else hit a grand slam. That would be ideal. The wind is going in the right direction for him to pull it and do it. Here's the throw down to first after the pitch. And diving back in safely is Cooper Westland. So Joey Kalura not afraid to, or Jaden Kalura not afraid to throw the ball from behind home plate if he thinks there's a runner straying off the bag a little bit too far. 2 balls, 1 strike. Out of the full windup is Colton Anderson. Swung on and hit back up the middle. Fielded behind second base. A toss to second gets 1. A run will score on the fielder's choice as Westland is out at second base. But the Berries have opened the scoring on a Corey Waters ground out fielder's choice. So Turner Zadunich, the left fielder, coming up to the plate now. That was a pretty good play in behind the second base bag. Not a hard hit ball up the middle, but Sam Baker had to range in behind the bag to his right to make the play and then get it to the shortstop. A first pitch strike to Zadunich with runners on first and third and one away. One strike to Zadunich. Hit in the air, foul, and up and out of play and behind us. Actually hit the screen. Got to get used to the idea that this screen here is pretty tall. Foul balls don't necessarily get out of the Pip Diamond area. And Jaden Kalura, the catcher, takes a little jog out foul territory halfway between home plate and third base to retrieve the baseball. Hand it off to home plate umpire Aaron Roberts. Zadunich with 2 strikes on him out of High River, Alberta. First and third, one away. Anderson with that move and forces Waters to dive back to the bag at first. The beauty of being a lefty, you can kick that front leg straight up. As long as it doesn't cross back behind the pitching rubber, you're fine to go to first base and look off. And lefties have the great moves. As a base runner, you got to be careful. A right-hander such as myself way back in the day, you steal all day. Ooh, inside pitch, and Zadunich fought that off the handle, just off the hands, and the count remains 0-2. Anderson with the 2-strike pitch again to Zadunich. Curveball hit on the ground towards short. Fielded, the toss to second for 1. The throw back to first is in. No, they're going to call him out safe. The initial look from the first base umpire was going to be out, and then all of a sudden, the sweep of the hands, and Rai Pathakos is not happy as that run scores and makes it 2-0, and Pathakos going to want to talk to the home plate umpire Aaron Roberts and question Scott Mills on that call at first base. He initially looked like he was going to call out and then changed his mind and went with the safe sign. So a fielder's choice, another one for the Berries, creating a second run. And so now 2 away with a runner on first base in Turner Zadunich. And DH Cam Marshak at the plate. Throw back to first. Zadunich dives back. Marshak 2 for 8 to start the year. Right-handed hitting DH today. Anderson's pitch in for a strike. Colton Anderson's 1-strike pitch is fouled off. Check swing foul. Marshak didn't want to swing at that, but clipped the ball on the way through. And he's in the hole 0-2 with 2 away. Cam Marshak from Bruno, Saskatchewan. Just to the east. Anderson with a throwback over to check on Zadunich. 2-0 Berries. Down low and in the dirt, blocked by catcher Kalura. And a 1-2 count. Zadunich daring to take a little bit more of a lead at first base. Anderson delivers to home. Ball gets away from the catcher Kalura, hopped up in front of him and in behind. And Zadunich will take second on the wild pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cam Marshak. Just coming off his freshman year at Colby Community College. High and away and a full count now. On the number 9 hitter for the Berries. As the top of the order, Jalen Freeman is on deck. And outside, ball 4. A walk. So a double, a hit batsman, a single, and a walk. Runners on first and second for the Berries. And Jalen Freeman coming back to the plate. And we're going to get a visit to the mound from Regina's pitching coach. Stephen Butts will come out and chat with Colton Anderson, who's didn't have quite as good a second inning as he had a first inning. Only 7 pitches in the first inning to get a 3 up, 3 down, but in this one he's had to work a little bit harder, starting with the leadoff double from Balin Sorensen. And Matt Whitney is heading down the right field line. The Berries starting pitcher, he might just want to get a couple of warm-up tosses in just to stay warm. He's only thrown 15 pitches through 2 innings, getting six straight outs so far. So Freeman, who struck out to lead off the bottom of the first inning, back up for the Berries. Swung on and hit in between third and short into left field. Rounding third and coming on home. The throw gets all the way through, but not in time. And scoring is Turner Zdunich on the RBI single. Cam Marshak holds up at second base. And Jalen Freeman with his first hit of the season, driving in a run to make it 3-0. A first pitch ball thrown to Ethan Houston, who's up for a second time in the ball game. Houston grounded to short back in the first. Swing and a miss. A 1-1 count on Houston. On the ground towards the second baseman. That took a tricky hop and the flip to second to the shortstop to get the final out. So that was a tricky play for second baseman Sam Baker, but he's able to make it and get the force out at second on Jalen Freeman. But a good bottom of the second inning for the home team as the Saskatoon Berries score 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no Regina errors and 2 runners left on base. So through 2 innings complete here at the Next Gen Patch at J.F. Cairns Field in Saskatoon, it is the Berries 3 and the Regina Red Sox no score. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Top of the third inning coming up here. The Regina Red Sox will send up their bottom third of the order. It'll be Justin Samard, the right fielder, designated hitter Brady Bye, and second baseman Sam Baker to face the left-handed starting pitcher for the Saskatoon Berries today, Matt Whitney, who's had a nice start so far, has a strikeout, thrown just 15 pitches through 6 hitters and 2 innings. Again, Whitney will throw just out of the stretch. Does not use a full windup in his first pitch. Curveball bounces in, ball 1. Justin Simard, 2 for 9 to start the year at .222. A run scored. Red Sox have had a great start to the year hitting, as that pitch is up high, 2-0. As a team, hitting .363 to start the year, coming into today. 2-0 pitch is on the ground. In between short and third, a diving attempt by Cooper Wesleyan to field that ball going to his left, but it gets through for a base hit, and that's the first base runner of the afternoon for the Regina Red Sox. So Brady By, the designated hitter, comes up now. By is a left-handed hitter. I mentioned he's up from Regina. Does some catching for this team as well. A curveball first pitch strike to Brady By. Played in just 1 game so far this year. 2 for 5 that game with a run scored. Another curve down low and away, and a good block by Balin Sorensen, the Barry's catcher. Keep the ball in front of him, a ball and a strike. Looking in is Whitney at the sign from Sorensen. A 1-1 pitch upcoming. And it's fouled off towards the Barry's first base dugout. 1-2 on Brady By. Sam Baker, the second baseman, on deck. Runner on first is the leadoff man, Justin Simard, who got on a base hit. 1-2 pitch. Simard takes off for second, a delayed steal on a pitch that was just outside, ball 2. 2-2 the count now on Brady By. As Regina looks to respond here in the bottom or top of the 3rd inning, I should say. Whitney's pitch swung on, lifted in the air. This one's a little looper into shallow right field. Coming on is Medina to make the catch, the second baseman, running away from the second base bag towards the foul line. He's able to make a nice play. And Brady By is out for the first out. So Sam Baker, the second baseman, coming up now. Baker's second game out of 3 for the Red Sox. 1 for 4 in his initial game, a double and 2 RBI for him. Justin Strand is on second base after a steal. Trying to hold him close. First pitch swinging on the ground towards the shortstop. Good play made there, and on to first. Nicely done by Nathan Houston. Strand comes on to third base, but there's 2 away now. And Matthew Fox, the shortstop, now up to the plate. Back to the top of the order for Matthew Fox. And the first pitch on the outside corner from Whitney is strike 1. Fox fouled out to lead off the game. Back around 4:05 this afternoon. There's a swing and a miss at a curveball down and in. Actually fouled off, they're going to say, but 2 strikes nonetheless on Matthew Fox. Fox from Huntington Beach, California, coming off his freshman year at Golden West Community College. 2-strike delivery, swung on and missed, strike 3. Second strikeout of the afternoon for Matt Whitney. And that is the end of the Regina Red Sox threat here in the top of the 3rd inning. No runs on 1 hit, no Barry's errors, 1 runner left on base. And through 2.5 innings here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field in Saskatoon, it is the Saskatoon Berries 3, the Regina Red Sox no score, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Colton Anderson completing his warm-up tosses here prior to the start of the bottom of the 3rd inning, as the Saskatoon Berries will come up with the heart of their order. Batters number 3, 4, and 5 scheduled to come up. Right fielder Ethan Murdoch, catcher Balin Sorensen, and second baseman Abian Medina. Murdoch coming up first. He is the right fielder for the Berries today. Grounded out to 3rd his first time up. Murdoch is now 1 for 6 to start the year with a couple of runs scored. Has drawn 3 walks, though, as Anderson's first pitch to him is in there for a strike, right at the knees. And it's another pitch in there for a strike right on the inside corner. So 2 strikes. Two-strike pitches up high, and holding up is Murdoch. One-two delivery. Murdoch on the ground towards second baseman. Up with it, and the throw on to first in plenty of time. A good play there by Sam Baker, who's been busy out there at second base so far today for the Regina Red Sox. First out for the Berries here in this bottom of the 3rd inning, and the guy who got things started in the last inning, Balin Sorensen, coming up. First pitch fouled back from Anderson by Sorensen, strike 1. Sorensen doubled to lead off the bottom of the 2nd inning, and then came in to score a few batters later on a fielder's choice by Corey Waters with the bases loaded. There's a low line drive screamer that goes over the first base bleachers and out of play, as Sorensen a little bit late on that delivery. That one was close, but not called. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Balin Sorensen. Slow curve, down low, 2-2. Full windup from Anderson and a swung on and missed. Strike 3. Sorensen goes down. That is strikeout number 2 for Colton Anderson this afternoon. So 2 up, 2 down for the Berries here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And there's 2 away. It brings up the second baseman, Abiam Medina, who was hit by a pitch and scored in the 2nd inning. And almost got plunked again as that pitch was inside, all the way back to the backstop. 1-0 pitch coming to Medina, down low and outside, 2-0. This one hit in the air and out of play. Fouled off over top of the third base Regina Red Sox dugout. Count remains 0-2 on Abiam Medina. Cooper Westland is on deck, hoping to get an at-bat this inning. 2-1 delivery is down low. 3-1 the count. Back he comes 3-1, and that one's low and away, and it's ball 4. That's the second walk issued by Colton Anderson this afternoon. And it'll bring up the third baseman, Cooper Westland, who flared a single into right field his first time up. Was out on a fielder's choice the next time up by the next batter, Corey Waters, who's on deck. Here's Westland, first pitch, one hopper back to the mound, and Anderson will run it almost all the way over before underhand tossing it to the first baseman, James Wright, to finish off the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1 runner left on base for the Berries in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Didn't get it on a hit. They got it on a walk. And through 3 innings of play, it is the Saskatoon Berries 3, the Regina Red Sox no score, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Matt Whitney ready to go again here in the top of the 4th inning for the Saskatoon Berries. He'll face the numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Regina Red Sox in the top of the 4th. Berries with a 3-0 lead in their home opener. Jordan Tucker hit a hot shot that Cooper Westland made a great diving play on to snare back in the top of the first inning. Tucker, a right-handed hitter out of Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. First pitch swinging again. This one's in the air to left field. Coming on and making the catch nicely is Turner Zadunich. And that's one away. It'll bring up the third baseman, I should say, Riley Bender, who grounded out to second his first time up. Bender 4 for 10 coming into the day. 0 for 1 today. First pitch swinging on an off-speed delivery, a strike. Jaden Kalura, the catcher, is the on-deck hitter for Regina, who have just the one hit so far. This one on the ground, tapped towards third, up with it. The throw going over is not going to be in time. Essentially a swinging bunt that'll put Riley Bender on first base with an infield hit. He beat that into the ground towards third. Cooper Wesleyan tried to make the off-balance throw. One hopped it over there, but Bender was able to get across the bag. So now Jaden Kalura, who flew out to right field his first time up. First pitch swinging. This one's in the air to left field. Dropping back a few steps is Turner Zadunich to make the catch. And the runner Bender will get back to first base. Two away. And up comes the first baseman, James Wright, who grounded out to third to Cooper Wesleyan back in the second inning. Bender taking a lead off of first base. First pitch swinging, and again in the air to left. Zadunich going back. He stops in front of the warning track, makes the catch, and Turner Zadunich makes all three outs on behalf of the Saskatoon Berries here in the top of the fourth inning. A lot of first pitch swinging by the Red Sox. Only 5 pitches thrown by pitcher Whitney. He's only thrown 32 through 4 innings unofficially. No runs, 1 hit, no Berries errors, 1 runner left on base through 3.5. It's the Berries 3 and the Regina Red Sox no score. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Heading for the bottom of the fourth inning. Berries will send up their bottom third of the order against Colton Anderson. It'll be Corey Waters, the first baseman, left fielder Turner Zadunich, and designated hitter Cam Marshak. Up against Anderson, who unofficially threw 3 innings, thrown 49 pitches. There is some action down the left field line in the Regina bullpen. as Xander Udi Senger is warming up. Anderson's first pitch to Waters is fouled off and out of play down the first baseline. One strike pitch from Anderson. Waters fouls that straight back. 0-2 quickly on the first baseman for the Berries. Waters drove in the game's first run with a fielder's choice back in the second inning. He stays alive with another foul ball back to the screen. 0-2. The 0-2 delivery again, and flared off again by Waters. He reached for that one. He was fooled, but able to get bat to the ball and stay alive at 2 strikes. And catcher Kalura was ready to throw the ball down to third base. He thought that that was strike 3. Home plate umpire Aaron Roberts says, no, I'm the one who decides whether it's a strike or not, and said that one was a little high. And now Waters, they're saying no swing. The appeal down to first, and Waters able to hold up. 2-2 the count now, as Corey Waters at bat, extended by some breaks. Now 2-2. This one's sent up the middle, and he gets a base hit out of it. Well, Regina Red Sox thought they'd had him struck out on a couple of occasions. Instead, Corey Waters ends up with a leadoff single. 4th hit of the afternoon for the Berries. So Turner Zdunich up now. He also grounded into a fielder's choice back in the second inning that drove in a run. That was also a close play at first base, where the umpire initially was about to signal out and then ruled him safe, much to the chagrin of the Regina Red Sox, as the first pitch to Zdunich is inside, ball 1. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Zdunich is 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the 4th inning. Berries up 3-0. Anderson's 1-1. Zdunich line drive left field, but right at the left fielder, who will come on and make the catch. Jordan Tucker with the catch there, and there's one away. So now designated hitter Cam Marshak coming up. He walked his first time up. Was left stranded. Up and away, ball 1 to Marshak. Runner at first is Corey Waters. Curve ball down low. 2-0 the count on Marshak. Barry's bullpen quiet. Regina's bullpen does have activity here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Fouled off at the plate by Marshak on a curve ball down and in, 2-1. This is the exact same lineup that Joe Carnahan used in his first 2 games, as that's fouled off by Marshak. 2-2 the count. The 9 players that are hitting are the only ones that have seen at-bats action so far for the Berries. through the first 2 games and now into game 3. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and bounced towards third. Big hop that gets away from the third baseman and fielded by the shortstop on the shallow outfield grass in left field. Pretty sure that'll be a base hit. Call it an error? Okay. They're going to call that an error on the third baseman, Riley Bender. They'll put runners on first and second with 1 away. And the top of the order in Jalen Freeman. First pitch in for a strike. Freeman struck out in the first inning, singled and drove in the Berries' 3rd run back in the 2nd inning. This one's hit well into right center field. Going back is the center fielder. Oh, off his glove. He almost made a great catch. Dropped the ball in the end, and now 2 guys rounding for home, and well, he's going to make it safely as the catcher, Jaden Kalura, could not handle the throw from the short center field. Almost an incredible catch, diving attempt by Raphael Jackson in straightaway center field. He could not hold on to that as he hit the ground, and the 2 runners were practically together at second base, and then they both took off for third. And because the second runner was heading to third, the lead runner had to head for home plate and did make it in safely. So a double for Jalen Freeman. Corey Waters scores on the play, and Cam Marshak ends up at third base. 4-0 now for the Berries, as Freeman now 2 hits in the game and a couple of runs batted in. And Nathan Houston, the shortstop, will come up for a 3rd time today. That was almost an incredible catch by Raphael Jackson, the Regina center fielder. First pitch to Houston is up and in for a strike. Runners on second and third. Colton Anderson out of the stretch. Down on the ground towards third. Oh, they've got him hung up at third base and nowhere else to go. So the lead runner gets tagged out, as that one was fielded nicely by Riley Bender, the third baseman, and he had Marshak dead to rights off the bag at third with nowhere to go. So a fielder's choice for the second out. Freeman stays at second. Houston now on first, and Ethan Murdoch, the right fielder, comes to the plate. This is swung on and hit out towards second base. Throw on to second to get the lead runner for the fielder's choice and the 3rd out of the inning. But the Berries do get a run on 2 hits. There was 1 Regina Red Sox error and 2 runners left on base. And through 4 innings of play now, it is the Saskatoon Berries leading the Regina Red Sox by a score of 4-0. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. All right, back for the top of the fifth inning here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Home opening day. A late Saturday afternoon contest between the Saskatoon Berries and the Regina Red Sox. Berries up 4-0. 28 degrees still. Southeast wind at 24 kilometers per hour. Sky conditions are still set to be smoky, but the visibility is pretty good. As Matt Whitney back out for a fifth inning. And he'll get the ball and he'll face Regina's 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Raphael Jackson, the center fielder. Justin Simard, the right fielder. And Brady By, the designated hitter. Jackson got his red jersey top dirtied up, his pants dirtied up after making that dive on the warning track last half inning, trying to snare the long fly ball off the bat of Jalen Freeman. And now he'll bunt, but it'll be, off the glove of the pitcher Whitney, as Jackson with good speed. Whitney knew he had to field that cleanly and get the throw away right away. Off the glove, and we're going to call that an error on the pitcher Whitney. So Jackson is on. Raphael Jackson with 3 stolen bases already this season. Squaring to bunt early and now swinging away and hitting it foul is the right fielder Justin Simard, who got the first hit for Regina today, leading off the top of the third inning. Raphael Jackson at first, Simard at the plate. Brady By, the designated hitter, on deck. Up high, ball 1. 1-1 to Simard. We are in the top of the fifth inning here at Next Gen Cairns Field in Saskatoon. Berries leading by a score of 4-0. Regina looking to get back on the board and cut into the lead as this one's golfed into left field. Turner Zadunich there to make the catch, and Jackson will retreat to first base. That's 4 straight putouts in left field for Turner Zadunich. DH Brady By coming up. He popped out to second base his first time up. Hit it towards the foul line down the right field line, popping it up. And Medina had to make a good running catch towards the line. And a toss over to first is Jackson, making it look like he might be going, looking maybe steal a base. Get something going for the Red Sox offensively. They've been held to 2 hits so far. Whitney's pitch, this one on the ground towards second. There will be only one play, that's to first, and they get him. The toss was not a good one by Medina. He kind of casually tossed it over to Corey Waters, who had to come off the bag and then scramble to get the tag on the runner. Brady By coming by. So 2 away. Jackson up to second base. And it'll bring up the number 9 hitter, the second baseman Sam Baker, who grounded out to shortstop his first time up. First pitch fouled off back to the screen. Just a little tip on that one. Strike 1. Two away, runner on second. Sam Baker up. Inside. Ball one. 1-1. Baker from Prattville, Alabama. Coming off his senior year at Point University. Teammate of Brady Bye, who was up just before him. Swing and a miss on a changeup. 1-2. A good outing here for Matt Whitney so far. Runner on second. 1-2 pitch upcoming with 2 away. And the lefty from Plantation, Florida. Line drive down the left field line. That is his fair ball. Jackson will trot on home, making his way into second, and making the turn and stopping is Sam Baker. So an RBI double for Baker, driving in Regina's first run of the afternoon. Makes it 4-1 for the Berries as Baker with his third RBI of the season. Back to the top of the order now for the Regina Red Sox, and shortstop Matthew Fox fouled out to the catcher and struck out. 0 for 2 so far today. Watching Baker at second base. This is lined into left field. That's also fair, and that's going to get all the way to the fence. Baker will easily score as Zadunich will get the ball back into third and limit Fox to a double, but back-to-back ringing doubles have credited a couple of runs here now for the Regina Red Sox. It'll be left fielder Jordan Tucker coming up. 4-2 now the score in favor of the Berries. 2 hits and an error. That's an unearned run, the first one. And actually they're both unearned now, as the error would have been 3 outs had it been made an out, not an error. Strike to Jordan Tucker on his first pitch. He's 0 for 2 today. Lined out to third and flew out to left. One strike pitch coming from Whitney. Swung on and missed on a slider that went down, and Tucker swung over the top of it. Jordan Tucker coming off his sophomore year at Rogers State. Teammate of today's pitcher for the Red Sox, Colton Anderson. A couple of other pitchers with the Red Sox from there. As a swing and a miss and strike 3. Tucker strikes out, strikeout number 3 of the afternoon for Matt Whitney. But the Red Sox get on the board with a couple of runs on 2 hits, 1 Berries error, and 1 runner left on base. So after 4.5 innings, halfway through the ball game, assuming it doesn't go to extras, it is the Saskatoon Berries 4 and the Regina Red Sox 2. You're watching Berries baseball. You're also listening to it as well here on FloCollege. As we head to the bottom of the fifth inning, it's a new pitcher for the Regina Red Sox. It'll be Regina product, Xander Odie Singer, coming off his senior year at Okanagan College. And he'll face the Berries' 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Balin Sorensen doubled and scored in the second inning, struck out in the third. First pitch from the right-hander is up high, ball 1. Slider away there, and it's 2-0 on Sorensen. Sorensen, Abiam Medina, and Cooper Wesland due up for the Berries here in the bottom of the fifth inning with a 2-run lead. This one's hit in the air to center field and deep, on his horse back, and now stopping and not able to make the catch. He overran it, and here's Sorensen now digging for third. He'll get in there standing up, and the ball gets by the third baseman, but the back pitcher covers up and makes the play there. Prevents the ball from getting away and Sorensen scoring. They're going to call that a 3-base error on the center fielder, Jackson, who got all the way back and then actually ran too far back, and the ball fell in front of him. And Sorensen able to get all the way to third base. So Abiam Medina, the second baseman, up. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the second inning, walked in the third. Left-hand hitter against Odie Singer, the second Regina pitcher, as the infield is in. And Medina fouls the first pitch back. Singer out of the stretch. Infielders on the edge of the grass. Curveball over the inside. Ball 1, 1-1. Barry's looking to get at least one of those 2 runs back here in the bottom of the fifth. One pitch is hit on the ground, speared at first. Nice play by James Wright, the first baseman. He'll look the runner back to third, Sorensen, and make the out at first base. So 1 away. Runner still on third. Cooper Wesland, the third baseman, coming up. Westland singled in the second inning and bounced back to the pitcher, Anderson, in the third. First pitch curveball is low and away, ball 1. Wesland back in the batter's box. Right-handed hitter. That's low and away again. 2-0 the count. Cooper Wesland from Lincoln, Nebraska, coming off his junior year at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. There's a pitch on the inside corner for a strike, 2-1, as Westland was looking for something a little further out. Middle outside on the strike zone possibly, and got one inside, didn't offer at it. 2-1 the count. Again, infield still in for Regina. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Corey Waters is on deck. 3-1 delivery upcoming. And that one is in for a strike. Westland was starting to make his way to second or towards first base, thinking he had himself a walk, but that one at the top of the strike zone and a full count. Payoff pitch upcoming. Line drive into center field, a base hit, and it's 5-2. Is in to score is Balin Sorensen. Big turnaround first base for Westland, but he'll get credit for an RBI single as Corey Waters makes his way to the plate. That's the 6th hit of the afternoon for the Berries. Been aided by a couple of errors by the Red Sox. Pitcher didn't even look at Westland. He was halfway to second base by the time the pitch was delivered. And an easy steal as Waters watches a pitch go outside, ball 1. Waters 1 for 2 this afternoon. An RBI fielder's choice in the second inning and a single to lead off the 4th. This one's high in the air, twisting towards foul territory and unable to make the catch. Short of the fence, where all the fans are standing, was the first baseman, James Wright, and I'm sure he hears a little bit about it from some of those patrons down the right field side, just beyond the Berries dugout. 1-1 the count on Corey Waters. Cooper Westland on second base. 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Second pitcher of the day for Regina, Xander Udi Sanger. Delivers down low, 2-1. Ready to go again, Udi Singer. Curveball is in for a strike. Big speed difference on that pitch compared to the fastball. Waters couldn't pull the trigger. So 2-2. Turner Zdunic is on deck. This one on the ground up the middle, be fielded by the shortstop. The throw on to first is in time to get Waters as Westland makes his way down to third. And Zdunic will come up with 2 out and a runner on third base. Zdunic had an RBI fielder's choice in the second inning and flew out to left field in the 4th. Left-hand hitter. First pitch outside. Ball 1. Inside with a curveball. Ball 2. 2-0. Zdunic from Colby, or coming off his freshman year at Colby Community College. Same thing as Dallin Rude. Also went to Colby Community College, coming off his freshman year. Another ball to Zdunic, and it's 3-0. Dallin Rude pitched for the Berries late last season a couple of times from Munster, Saskatchewan. And inside ball 4. And a walk, and runners now on first and third with 2 away. And it'll bring up the DH Cam Marshak, who walked in the second inning and got on base on an error by the third baseman Riley Bender back in the 4th inning. First pitch in for a strike. Long inning here again, half inning. We'll see what Matt Whitney's back out to pitch for the Berries in the top of the 6th. Another strike poured in by Udi Singer on Marshak, and it's 0-2. Top of the order, Jalen Freeman waiting on deck. Runner goes, and there's hit on the... They're going to call that a foul ball. They're going to call that hitting. He says it hit him in the arm. Home plate umpire says it hit the knob of the bat. And Joe Carnahan, the head coach of the Berries, is going to come out and have a discussion. And now they'll talk it over with the other umpires and call them in to see what they heard and saw. Saw more so than anything else. The here sounded like it hit bat, not arm. But we'll see what the three umpires come up with as they huddle just in front of the pitcher's mound. And they're going to say foul ball and send the batter back, and the umpires around the ballpark don't agree. Marshak trying to show off that where he got hit, and not happening there. So 0-2 it still is on Cam Marshak. Back into the batter's box he'll go. Zadunich was off with that last pitch, maybe doing the same thing here, and he is. He's long gone. Now they'll step off, try to fake the throw to third to catch the runner there taking off early, and nothing happens. Ends up with a stolen base. Zadunich goes to second. We're still 0-2 with Marshak still at the plate. But now 2 ducks on the pond, and now he'll swing and miss. Strike 3, and a strikeout for Udi Singer to finish off the bottom of the 5th inning. A longish bottom of the 5th. The Berries score an unearned run on 1 hit. They left 2 runners on base. There was 1 error made by the Regina Red Sox. And after 5 innings complete here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, it is the Saskatoon Berries leading the Regina Red Sox by a score of 5-2 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Matt Whitney back out for the top of the 6th inning for the Saskatoon Berries pitching. So far in the ball game, the Berries have 5 runs on 6 hits. They've committed 1 error and have left 7 runners on base. For the Regina Red Sox, as they come to bat here in the top of the 6th inning with their 3, 4, and 5 hitters, they have 2 runs on 4 hits. They've committed 2 errors, and they've left 3 runners on base. Riley Bender at the plate. First pitch swinging off of the leg of the pitcher, and this out towards between first and second base on the right side of the infield, and able to get on is Riley Bender with his 2nd hit of the afternoon. An infield single for Bender to lead off the top of the 6th inning. A little bit of stirring down the right field line towards the Barry's bullpen. Nothing serious, though, as of yet. Jaden Kalura, the catcher, at the plate. First pitch swinging. Taken at first by Waters. The throw down to second, and the tag applied in time. Corey Waters opted to tag the bag, which took off the force at second base, but a nice peg to shortstop Nathan Houston, who applied the tag on the base runner, Riley Bender, and that is a 3 unassisted to 6 double play. And quickly, the Berries have 2 outs. On the Regina Red Sox here in the top of the 6th inning as James Wright, the first baseman, comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Swing and a miss on the first pitch, strike 1. Wright's 0 for 2 today. Grounded up to third in the 2nd inning, flew out to left in the 4th. Matt Whitney on the mound for a 6th inning. Pitch up high, ball 1, 1-1. (5-2) the score in favor of the Berries over the Regina Red Sox here in the top of the 6th inning. Curve ball stays up high, 2-1. Umpires in the crowd in behind home plate disagree. Again, it's where it crosses the plate, not where it lands in the catcher's glove, folks. Two-one pitch. Down low. Good job to hold up by Wright. Thought about going after that. 3-1 the count. James Wright coming off his junior year at Northern Colorado University. Calls Colorado Springs, Colorado home. 3-1 pitch is in for a strike on the inside corner. Full count. Whitney with 3 strikeouts on the afternoon. Has had a very solid afternoon of pitching. 3-2 on the inside corner, call strike 3 by home plate umpire Aaron Roberts. James Wright trying to pretend and fake out the umpire that it was inside by turning away from the pitch, and Aaron Roberts not buying it. Strikeout number 4 of the afternoon for Matt Whitney. No runs, 1 hit, no Berries errors, and nobody left on base. After 5.5 here at Next Gen Patch Cairns Field, it is the Saskatoon Berries 5 and the Regina Red Sox 2 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Heading for the bottom of the 6th inning here at Next Gen Patch Cairns Field. It'll be the top of the order for the Saskatoon Berries. Jalen Freeman, Nathan Houston, and Ethan Murdoch to face the second Regina pitcher of the afternoon, that being Xander Udi Singer, who's on for his 2nd inning of work. Starter today, Colton Anderson. Pitched 4 innings, allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. As the first pitch to Freeman is outside for a ball. In for a strike on Freeman. One pitch coming up to the Barrie center fielder, who's 2 for 3 today. Bounced in. 2-1 the count. Freeman has a couple of RBIs today. Drove in a run in the second inning with a single, drove in a run in the fourth with a double. Up high, ball free, 3-1 on the Barrie's leadoff man. The 3-1 pitch is in for a strike and a full count. Payoff pitch fouled off and into the parking lot. In behind third base. And the dugout of the Regina Red Sox. Once again, the full count pitch coming up here to Jalen Freeman. On the ground towards second, bouncing ball. Fielded cleanly. The throw over to first, and they got him. Freeman trying to jump away from James Wright after the throw was off target from the second baseman Sam Baker, but Wright able to get the tag on the Barrie's leadoff man for the first out. So 1 away, and Nathan Houston, the shortstop, up. 0 for 3 so far today. Looks a curveball strike from Udi Singer. Ethan Murdoch, the right fielder, on deck. Inside, jumping out of the way, is Houston, 1-1. Curveball is up high. Ball 2, 2-1. Houston's heading to hit 3 ground ball outs today. A couple of them in fielder's choices at second base as he fouls a pitch off, beats it into the turf. 2-2 the count. Nathan Houston out of Melville. Where's number 11? Coming off his sophomore year at Louisiana Tech University. This one fouled up the third base line. Houston stays alive. Now he calls time. Two-two pitch. His curve is outside, and a full count again for the Regina pitcher, Xander Udi Singer. Fouled off. Full count remains. Eighth pitch of the at-bat upcoming to Nathan Houston. This one's hit in the air. Twisting foul down the right field side, and will be bouncing out of play, out of the reach of anybody from the Red Sox to catch two. So Houston's making Udi Singer work, as this is the third batter already in an inning and a third for Udi Singer that he's gone full count on. Once again, a payoff pitch upcoming. And again, fouled off at the plate. Ethan Murdoch, the on-deck hitter, has to track down that foul ball off the screen. 3-2, and again fouled off. That's 4 straight foul-offs by Houston. 10 pitches into the at-bat. Oh, we got Pat Janex out running down foul balls again. Good to see. We got him back involved. This one's lined into center field and will get down a base hit. 11 pitch at-bat, and it turns into a single for Nathan Houston, his first hit of the day in 4 at-bats. 7th hit of the afternoon for the Berries. And now it's Ethan Murdoch up. He, like Houston, coming into that last at-bat, 0 for 3. Udi Singer check on Houston, who dives back into the base. Nathan Houston has 2 stolen bases through the first 2 games already. And there he goes. Slow curve, and the throw down to second will be nowhere near in time to get Houston, who steals that cleanly. Barry stole 9 bases last night in their 8-5 win in Moose Jaw. That is the 3rd so far today, by my unofficial count. 1-0 pitch to Ethan Murdoch is outside, 2-0. Pitch fouled towards the Regina dugout. 2 balls and 1 strike. One away here in the bottom of the 6th inning, 5-2. Saskatoon Berries with the lead on the Regina Red Sox, looking to add to that lead as that one is down and away. Ball 3, 3-1. Udi Singer from the stretch. Houston, the runner at second, dancing around out there. This was popped up in the air down the right field line, heading towards the crowd, and won't quite get there. It ends up lodged between the tarp and the fence down the right field line, but a foul ball nonetheless. And for the 3rd straight batter in this half inning, a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Balin Sorensen, the catcher, is, well, he's not on deck. We have a pinch hitter that's out there. Oh, no, there he is. I see him. Sorensen's hiding behind the pillar that I have in front of me. Fouled off back into the screen by Murdoch. Sorensen is on deck. I saw Abia Medina just off the Berries dugout. Sorensen is in more of the on-deck area. A little closer to the screen. This one's lifted into left field. Will it be fair? It is. One hops the fence. Houston rounds third. He'll come in to score to make it 6-2. And into second base with a double His first hit of the afternoon is Ethan Murdoch, and it is 6-2 for the Saskatoon Berries. And Balin Sorensen is on his way out to home plate. Sorensen has scored a couple of runs today. 1 for 3, a double. Reached on an error, and we got the pitching coach now coming out for Regina to talk to the pitcher, as we do have action down the left field line in the bullpen for the Regina Red Sox. That is number 40, Aiden Page, who's warming up. Get everybody put together here to have a look at what's going on. The entire infield and catcher are in the discussion here, and here comes home plate umpire Aaron Roberts to break it up. 1 out, 1 run in, a runner on second for the Berries. That's the double just hit by Ethan Murdoch. Sorensen 1 for 3, as mentioned, a double, run scored in the second, struck out in the third, reached on a 3-base error to lead off the 5th inning and scored. Xander Udi Singer has thrown a lot of pitches through an inning and a third for him. Sorensen fouls the first offering to him. Foul down the third base side. Strike 1. By my unofficial count, Udi Singer's thrown 51 pitches in this relief appearance, and like I say, only an inning and a third. As that one bounced in the dirt, but blocked by the catcher Kalura. Keeps the runner at second base, Murdoch. It's 1-1. Outside, ball 2, 2-1. Sorensen, the only catcher listed on the roster for the Berries as it stands right now. That will change once Ethan Menard arrives, when he finally does. Him along with Carter Beck is another ball thrown, and it's 3-1 to Sorensen. Of course, Menard can also play first base, as can Sorensen, as that pitch is down low. That's ball 4. And runners on first and second now, with 1 away. And up comes Abiam Medina, the second baseman, and Rai Pathakos is going to make the call to the bullpen now. So we'll have a bit of a timeout here while the pitching change is made by the Regina Red Sox. Tough go for Xander Udi Singer. An inning and a third for him, and he's still responsible for 2 men, as coming out of the left field bullpen area for the Regina Red Sox is Aiden Page. Aiden Page is a right-hander. We'll tell you more about him here right away. Page is from Leedy, Oklahoma, coming off his senior year at Southwestern Oklahoma University. 5'8", 165 pounds. And he'll be making his second appearance, as he has pitched in a game already. We'll take a look here and tell you a little bit more about that appearance. It's his second year with the Red Sox. He was here last season. But he pitched in the opening game of an 11-1 victory over Swift Current back in Regina on Thursday. 2 innings pitched, allowed just 1 hit, struck out 2. Last year, Aiden Page had a 3-1 record, pitched in 9 games, started 4 of them, a 6.23 earned run average in 30 and a third innings, struck out 23 and walked 13. That was last season for Page with the Regina Red Sox. So Aiden Page, once he's done his 8 warm-up tosses, will face second baseman Abiam Medina, who is 0 for 1 today. Hit by a pitch and scored a run in the second inning, walked in the third, and grounded out to first base in the fifth. Product of Ponce, Puerto Rico. Coming off his senior year at Texas A&M International. Page ready to deliver. Runners at first and second with 1 away, and now he steps off. Now ready to go. Interesting way of taking a sign with the glove up to his left ear, almost as if he's listening for the sign. On the ground, first pitch swinging that towards the right-hand side of the infield. The throw on to second, and they'll get Balin Sorensen, who delayed a touch while running in order to let the ball get by him. But a good play by the second baseman, Sam Baker, to field the ball and then spin and fire to second to get the out on the base runner Sorensen. Medina on a fielder's choice. Murdoch down to third base, and there's 2 away. And it'll bring up the third baseman, Cooper Westland. First pitch to Westland is down low. Halfway down to second base was Medina, and he stopped, and Colura decided not to throw through, and so now runners at second and third with 2 away. Second and third with 2 away. Westland awaiting the 1-0 pitch from Page. Swing and a miss, and strike 1. Berries with a 6-2 lead, looking to add on to it here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They've put up some fence posts in innings 4, 5, and 6 with single runs in each of them. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed on a slider. 1-2. That had some good bite to it from Aiden Page. Cooper Westland's 2 for 3 today with a stolen base and a run batted in. Page takes the sign. 1-2 pitch out of the stretch is low, just low. 2-2. Runner on third is Ethan Murdoch. Runner on second is Abiam Medina. 2-2 pitch. Gets through the catcher, and not able to make his way home is Ethan Murdoch. I think Murdoch got surprised that the ball got through the catcher and unaware. And so instead, we have a 3-2 count now. Full count again. This one's hitting the air to right field and over the head. Well, no, getting back is the right fielder, and he'll make a catch in right field to retire the side. At first, it looked like the right fielder, Justin Simard, was fooled by that, was playing in on the play, but he was able to get back and make the catch to retire Westland and the side as the Berries get another run in the bottom of the 6th inning. And they do it with 2 hits, no Regina errors, and 2 runners left on base. Through 6 complete here at Next Gen Patch, Cairns Field in Saskatoon. It is the Berries 6. And the Regina Red Sox 2 as you're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege. Top of the 7th inning upcoming here at Next Gen Patch Cairns Field. Matt Whitney back out on the mound. He's only thrown 53 pitches through 6 innings and has had a very efficient afternoon on the hill for the Saskatoon Berries as he'll face hitters number 6, 7, and 8 for Regina. Raphael Jackson struck out in the 2nd inning, reached on a error off of a bunt to lead off the 5th, and ended up scoring the first of Regina's 2 runs that inning. First pitch swung on, foul tip at the plate, strike 1. Raphael Jackson, Justin Simard, and Brady By scheduled hitters for Regina in the top of the 7th inning. That one catches the inside corner on Jackson, 0-2. Fouled off down the first base side towards the Berries dugout. Jackson stays alive. Raphael Jackson, mentioned out of the Virgin Islands, coming off his senior year at Point University. This one hit up the first base line, right to Corey Waters, who fields it right on the bag for the out. So 1 away. It'll bring up the right fielder, Justin Simard. 1 for 2, singled in the 3rd and flew out to left field in the 5th inning. First pitch line drive, it'll be caught at shortstop by Nathan Houston. That one was hooking away from Houston, and he ended up going down to his knees and reaching out to make that catch for the 2nd out. So 2 away quickly here for the Regina Red Sox in the top of the 7th inning, and Brady By, the designated hitter, is up now. By 0 for 2. Popped out in the 3rd inning, grounded out in the 5th. Pitch bounced in and clipped the umpire. That'll smart a little, but he's okay. Aaron Roberts. One 0 pitch upcoming to Brady By. This is hit in the air to center field. Jalen Freeman tracking back, going back, looks up. That's off the wall. By will try a stride into second base as Freeman returns the ball to the infield. And a double off the fence in straightaway center field for Brady By to keep the top of the 7th inning going. It'll be the number 9 hitter, second baseman Sam Baker, coming up. Baker doubled, drove in a run in the 5th inning, and then scored also in the 5th. And that's going to be the end of the line for Matt Whitney as head coach Joe Carnahan comes out. There is action down the right field line for the Berries, or down the right field line. And it looks like it's going to be Clay Mixon who will be coming on in relief. Well, they're keeping him in. Usually when the head coach comes out, it's to come get the pitcher, but he'll leave Whitney in with a 6-2 lead and 2 outs here in the 7th inning to face the number 9 hitter Baker, who, as I said, doubled and scored, drove in a run his last time up against the lefty. Baker, a right-handed hitter. First pitch swung on and missed. Good fastball, strike 1. Carnahan would love to see him get through this inning, and then go to the bullpen for the final 2. Runner on second, 1 strike pitch is up high, ball 1, 1-1. Ball gets away into right field now, down the Berries bullpen. But retrieved quickly. So no issue, no stoppage in play, no delay here. 1-1 pitch, hit on the ground towards short. And through under the glove of Nathan Houston into center field. Coming on in to score is Brady By to make it 6-3. And Baker is on first with an error on the shortstop Nathan Houston. So that's the second error of the afternoon for the Berries. Makes it 6-3, and now we're going to have a pitching change as the Berries will go to the bullpen. Matt Whitney with a very good outing of 6 2/3 innings for the Berries. So Whitney leaves to a nice round of applause from the sold-out crowd of 2,181 here this afternoon at Next Gen Patch Cairns Field. And a new pitcher coming into the game is Clay Mixon. Wears number 44 for the Berries from Baytown, Texas. Coming off his freshman year at Dallas College, Brookhaven. 6'2", 220-pound, side arming. Got that whip action on that right-handed pitch. Not over top. It's pretty much straight sidearm. So a little different look for the Red Sox with Clay Mixon coming on. Meanwhile, for Whitney, 6 2/3 innings pitched. He gives up 6 hits. Still responsible for the runner on first, but 3 runs given up so far, and all of them are unearned off of the 2 errors by the Saskatoon Berries. So he'll have no earned runs credited to him today. no matter how many they score off of him. Just a possibility of 4, but hopefully no more than 3 from his perspective, as Mixon will face the top of the order. And Matthew Fox, who's 1 for 3, doubled his last time up. Sam Baker on first. Mixon's first pitch is inside, ball 1. Side winding action. Dancing around is Baker at first, and now the pitch is inside again, ball 2. In for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike on Matthew Fox, as Clay Mixon wants to get the third out here and get the Berries back to their hitting in the bottom of the 7th inning if they can. 2-1 pitch is low. Ball 3, 3-1. Baker, the runner at first. 3-1 pitch is lined into center field. A base hit. Baker will hold up at second. And a 2-out rally here for the Red Sox in the top of the 7th inning. First 2 outs came easily, then a double by Brady By, an error, and now a single. And you have runners on first and second. And it'll bring up the left fielder Jordan Tucker, who's 0 for 3. Curveball is not in for a strike. That one looked pretty good, but not so, according to home plate umpire Aaron Roberts. 1-0. And outside with a breaking pitch. 2-0 now the count on Jordan Tucker, as Clay Mixon struggles to find his control. Meanwhile, down the right field line, left-hander Zach Laird starts to warm up. And inside, 3-0. It's getting to be a critical part here, as this is the tying run at the plate here for the Red Sox all of a sudden. A 3-0 pitch is in the inside corner for a strike. 3-1 the count. 2 away here in the top of the 7th inning. 1 run in, 2 runners on base for the Regina Red Sox. Runners take off and fouled off at the plate, and they'll have to return to their spots. It'll be 3-2. So we got a payoff pitch coming up here. Runners will be going with the pitch with 2 out, a 3-2 count on the left fielder Jordan Tucker. On the ground towards third, fielded cleanly, and the throw to first, and not in well, took the first baseman off the bag, and everybody's safe. Westland fielded it cleanly, but his throw pulled Corey Waters off the bag. And so now the bases are loaded with 2 away. And the third baseman, Riley Bender, coming on. Bender's got 2 hits in the game, 2 for 3. Singles in the 4th and 6th inning, and Here we are with the bases loaded, and a big opportunity for the Red Sox to make this one very, very close and interesting, as the first pitch he's able to bend out of the way of. Ball one. Well, they called it a strike, saying that he offered at it. Okay. Wondered about that. One strike pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. 0-2. Mixon one pitch away from getting out of a jam. Get Barry loud, says the Jumbotron. Fans respond. The 0-2 pitch is strike three called. Clay Mixon gets the man out for his first strikeout in his appearance. A big K for the Red Sox as the Berries get out of the inning. Give up a run. One run on 2 hits. There were 2 Saskatoon Berries errors and 3 runners left on base. So through 6.5 innings of play, in the home opener for the Saskatoon Berries, they lead the Regina Red Sox by a score of 6-3. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Bottom of the 7th inning, as we've had the 7th inning stretch here at Next Gen Patch Cairns Field in Saskatoon. 6-3, the Saskatoon Berries leading the Regina Red Sox. Red Sox leaving the bases loaded just now as bottom third of the Berries order comes up in the bottom of the 7th inning to face Aiden Page. Corey Waters up to the plate. Waters 1 for 3. Singled and scored in the 4th inning. Drove in a run with a fielder's choice in the 2nd. Saskatoon product. Swings at the first pitch, hits it on the ground. Knocked down at short by Matthew Fox. Big long throw across the diamond, not in time. Good play by Fox to range to his right and knock the ball down, but Waters able to beat it out for an infield single. And the Berries have their leadoff man on. As the 9th hit of the day for the Berries. As Turner Zadunich, the left fielder, comes to the plate against Aiden Page. Squibbed on the ground to third, fielded, throw on to second for 1. The throw back to first, not in time. Zadunich will beat it out. That one was cued off the end of the bat towards third baseman Bender, who made the throw over to second to Baker, who had to hustle from deep in the hole on the second base side with the left-handed batter up, got to the bag, and then tried to wheel and fire, but could not get enough on the throw to get Zadunich at first base. So he's on the fielder's choice. And there's one away here. As the first pitch is a strike to Cam Marshak. on the ground to third. Again, Bender fields it cleanly. Throws on to second for one. Baker had to delay as he had the man sliding and almost took him out, but Baker's then relay did not get there in time. And so Marshak is on a fielder's choice as we've got back-to-back bouncing balls to the third baseman Bender, who's been able to throw on to second. That throw almost went into right field. Baker had to reach to his left, extended, and make the catch and keep his foot on the bag. And he was able to do that. So now 2 away and back to the top of the order for Jalen Freeman, who's up for the 5th time today. First pitch swinging, lifts it high in the air into shallow left field. Over there to make the catch and to finish off the inning for the Regina Red Sox is the left fielder Jordan Tucker. And that's it, as Freeman 2 for 5 now on the afternoon. The Berries get no runs in the bottom of the 7th inning on 1 hit. There were no Regina errors, 1 runner left on base, and through 7 complete, it is the Saskatoon Berries 6 and the Regina Red Sox 3 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Clay Mixon back out for the top of the 8th inning on the mound for the Saskatoon Berries. He came on in relief of starter Matt Whitner. Back with 2 out in the top of the 7th inning. He'll face the middle third of the Regina order here in the top of the 8th. The catcher Jaden Kalura, first baseman James Wright, and center fielder Raphael Jackson. 6-3, the Berries lead the Regina Red Sox as we head to the top of the 8th inning. So Kalura first up. Whitney only threw 62 pitches unofficially, facing 27 batters today. Gave up 6 hits in 6 2/3 innings, 3 runs, none of them earned. 4 strikeouts and no walks. First pitch swinging Kalura against Mixon, fouls it wide of first base. Strike 1. Kalura 0 for 3 has grounded into a double play his last time up. Curveball is up and away, ball 1. Mixon's 1-1 pitch is in for strike 2, 1-2. Cued off and foul to the screen. Kalura stays alive as he was fooled by that off-speed pitch. 1-2. Another curveball in there for strike 3 called, and Kalura doesn't like the call, doesn't like the fact he didn't swing at the pitch, probably more so than anything else. That's 1 away here in the top of the 8th inning, as the Hammond, Louisiana product is 0 for 4. Brings up first baseman James Wright, who's 0 for 3 today. Wright's 0 for 3. Struck out his last time up. against Matt Whitney. First pitch was a ball. Beaten into the ground. Foul fielded by the third base coach of the Red Sox. 1-1. One pitch. Slow curveball swing and a miss. Strike two. 1-2. Again, fans urged to get loud by public address announcer Simon Hyatt. A nice crowd for home opener, 2,181. 1-2 pitches. Strike three called. High in the strike zone, and James Wright did not agree. That's 3 straight strikeouts for Clay Mixon, as he seems to have found his groove here after coming on, giving up a single and then having an error behind him. Now 3 straight strikeouts, and Raphael Jackson coming to the plate. Jackson 0 for 3, but scored a run after reaching on an error in his second appearance. Looks at the first pitch down low for a ball. Curveball in for a strike. There's a major difference between the speed on his curveball and the speed on his fastball. 1-1 pitch. Fouled off and over top into the parking lot down the left field side. 1-2. In there for strike three called. Mixon strikes out the side and has struck out 4 in a row. And Jackson just got pitched. Home plate umpire Aaron Roberts didn't like the reaction of Raphael Jackson to being a called third strike, and now Roberts is going to hold off the pitching coach and say, get back to the dugout or else you're going to get tossed. Rai Pathakos, the head coach, is on his way out to chat. He'll be sent back to the dugout. Well, here's Pathakos going to get his words in. Home plate umpire Roberts will let it happen. But no matter what, no runs, no hits, no Berries errors, nobody left on base, nothing across. In the top of the 8th inning, it is Regina trailing the Saskatoon Berries after 7.5 innings by a score of 6-3. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Bottom of the 8th inning upcoming. Saskatoon Berries with a 6-3 lead on the Regina Red Sox. They'll send up second hitter Nathan Houston, Ethan Murdoch, and Balin Sorensen to face Aiden Page, the third pitcher of the day for the Regina Red Sox. The throw down. We're ready to get going. We've had a change.
Hey, who's the switch? The switch. Player switch.
Okay, they brought the right fielder in to catch. There's been a change in the Regina defense.
48 for 20.
Okay. So Raphael Jackson, who was kicked out of the game, is out of the game, obviously. And a new player in for Regina into the ball game is Jory Graves from Regina. Not sure if Graves is in center field or what. Now there's a pitch and hits Houston. So he's on first. And it'll bring up Ethan Murdoch, who doubled and drove in a run in the 6th inning. Ball 1 to Murdoch. And ball 2 now as that pitch is low and outside. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Murdoch beats one foul, and that is wide of third base, just barely. Two balls and one strike on Ethan Murdoch. Nathan Houston on first base. He's already got a stolen base today. 2-1 pitch down low, 3-1. Fouled off into the screen by Murdoch. Full count. So full count here on Ethan Murdoch. Houston takes off and Murdoch fouls it back and stay at full count 3-2. Here we go again with a 3-2 pitch. And it's down low, ball 4. So the first two men for the Berries are on here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Houston moves up to second base. Murdoch to first. It'll bring up the cleanup hitter, the catcher, Balin Sorensen, who's 1 for 3 today with 2 runs scored. And now action down the right field or down the left field line for Regina. Tyler Fortin is hitting down there to warm up. Aiden Page's pitch is in for a strike. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-3, Saskatoon leads Regina. Barry's home opener. Swing and a miss by Sorensen. Strike two. Might have fouled that off as catcher Kalura could not come up with it. Curveball outside. Ball one. 1-2 the count on Sorensen. Aiden Page from southwestern Oklahoma, trying to keep the Berries at 6. But he's got 2 men on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th as Sorensen drills a shot into right center field. That will catch grass, be cut off before it gets to the wall. 1 run is in. Sorensen digging for second, and holding up at third is Ethan Murdoch, but Balin Sorensen with an RBI double that makes the score now 7-3 in favor of the Berries. Houston comes around to score. Murdoch to third, second and third with nobody out. And Abiam Medina is up now for the Saskatoon Berries. Tenth hit of the day for the Berries. They've scored 7. First pitch to Medina is up high, ball 1. Cooper Westland is on deck. Fouled off by Medina. 1 ball, 1 strike. Aiden Page with runners at second and third with a 1-1 count. Delivers. And in for strike 2 on Abiam Medina. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung on and lined into center field. And slipping and falling, but making the catch is Jory Graves. In to score from third is Ethan Murdoch. That ball was slicing back towards the right of the center fielder Graves, who just came into the game to replace the ejected Raphael Jackson. And actually, that was Jordan Tucker who moves to center field to make that catch. He almost overran that. A sacrifice fly is how that turns out to be for the first out. Murdoch scores and Sorensen to third. A strike on Cooper Westland. And strike 2 on a high fastball, high in the zone. Westland 2 for 4, a couple of singles, a run driven in. He also has a stolen base today. The Berries' third baseman. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That's 2 away now for the Berries in the bottom of the 8th. But with an 8-3 lead. So Corey Waters now up to the plate. He's 2 for 4. Scored a run. Has driven in a run as well as he fouls off a pitch, strike 1. This one's beaten into the dirt. High chopper and to be over top of the third baseman's head. That'll drive in another run to make it 9-3 as Waters with an infield single. A high hop over the third baseman Riley Bender's head had to be fielded way deep in the hole by the shortstop, but by then the run had scored and Waters was in to score on the play. So a couple of RBIs for Corey Waters today as it's 9-3 for the Berries, and up comes left fielder Turner Zadunich, who's 0 for 3 today with a walk. A strike called on Zadunich. One strike pitch, high and away, ball one. Designated hitter Cam Marshak is on deck. See if he gets a chance to swing one more time as Zadunich looks at a strike on a curveball, and it's 1-2. One-two pitch, foul back. Zadunich stays alive. Turner Zadunich from High River, Alberta. His first season with the Berries. And strike three called on the outside corner, and that'll end the inning. A strikeout, first one of the appearance for Aiden Page, finishes off the inning, but the Berries score 3 more runs to extend their lead to 9-3. They did it with 3 runs on just 2 hits. There were no errors by the Regina Red Sox, and 1 runner left on base. So after 8 complete, heading for home, a new pitcher coming into the game for the Saskatoon Berries. It'll be Zach Laird. But it's 9-3 Saskatoon leading as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Nope. So we come to the top of the 9th inning, and the Berries will call on a third pitcher to finish things off. Zach Laird is a left-hander, wears number 13. Coming off his senior year at Indiana State University. Of course, that means he was a teammate of Carter Beck's at Indiana State. Laird from Langley, BC. Not a very big guy, 5'7", 150 pounds, left-hander, but looks like he can throw the baseball pretty well as he warms up to start the 9th inning. Regina will send up the bottom third of their order. Justin Simard, the right fielder, DH Brady By, and second baseman Sam Baker to face him. Berries 3 outs away from winning their home opener, something they did not do last year. And a victory would improve their record to 2-1 and hand Regina their first loss in 3 games. They would also be 2-1. This is one of 6 games, I believe, in the Western Canadian Baseball League today. Coming up at 7 o'clock, the Energy City Cactus Rats, formerly the Edmonton Prospects, are in Okotoks. Brooks is at Swift Current, Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, Fort McMurray at home to Sylvan Lake, and Weyburn at Moose Jaw. That's the other action, all getting started at 7:05 as a first pitch from Zach Laird to Justin Simard is a strike. That's in about 20 minutes' time. 25 minutes' time, those games will get underway. Just inside to Simard, 1-1. Justin Simard, Brady By, and Sam Baker to face Zach Laird here in the top of the 9th inning. Foul out play past the first place bleachers. 1-2 the count. One-two pitch, way up high. The fastball, 2-2. Laird, a newcomer to the Berries, newcomer to this league. He's got a 2-2 count on Justin Simard. Fouled off. Simard stays alive. He's 1 for 3 today. 1 for 3 with a stolen base back in the 3rd inning. Here comes the 2-2 pitch again. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That's 6 straight Regina Red Sox who have struck out. Make that 5. 5 straight Red Sox who have struck out. 4 of them by Clay Mixon, the second Berries pitcher. He had 4 strikeouts in his inning and a third of work. That's 9 strikeouts now by Berries pitchers in today's game. Starter Matt Whitney had 4 in his 6 2/3 to start. Brady By on now. And ground ball, first pitch swinging to short. Long throw across out of the hole and in time. Good play by shortstop Nathan Houston. There's 2 away. And the Red Sox are down to their last gasp here in their first game against the Berries this season and their first visit to Next Gen Patch Cairns Field. So 2 away, and Sam Baker is the batter. Baker 1 for 3, doubled and scored, and drove in a run in the 5th inning. First pitch down low, ball 1. I can't hear you. And that one's low as well. 2-0 to count. Zach Laird trying to finish things off here. Berries all standing in their dugout on the top step, ready to run out and celebrate a victory in their home opener with the next out. 2-0 pitch is up high and away, ball 3. The leadoff hitter Matthew Fox is on deck. Baker takes a moment, steps back in the batter's box. 3-0 pitch is fouled off. 3-1. Surprised he swung at that. Mind you, down to 6 in the top of the 9th inning and 2 outs. No sense taking pitches. If you think you can make something happen, you swing. So now 3-1 delivery from Zach Laird is in for strike 2. He was ready to ring him up there. big strike call was coming. Then he realized it was only 3-1. He better just do it kind of carefully and with less exuberance. Laird throws the next one in. You never know. But let's go Berries up on the Jumbotron. Fans with a chance to celebrate right now. This one's hitting the air to center field. Freeman coming on. He is there. He'll make the catch, and that's the ball game. A home opening victory for the Saskatoon Berries on a Saturday as they defeat the Regina Red Sox by a final score of 9-3. Berries 2-1. Red Sox also now 2-1 in the very early stages of the 2025 Western Canadian Baseball League season. Stand by. We'll come back with the wrap-up in 60 seconds' time. Berries with a victory here at home over Regina. We'll come back and wrap things up in 60 seconds as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. All right, we're back here as the celebration kind of muted. The Berries go down the line and gather as a group in behind first base. But they have won their home opener here to the 2025 WCBL season. Berries winning 9-3 today over the Regina Red Sox. Your final totals for the Saskatoon Berries: they had 9 runs on 11 hits. They committed 3 errors. They left 11 runners on base. For the Regina Red Sox, they had 3 runs on 7 hits. They committed 2 errors. They left 6 runners on base. Matt Whitney is the winning pitcher. And the losing pitcher is the starter for Regina, Colton Anderson. For the Berries, some nice performances today at the plate. Jalen Freeman was 2 for 5 with a couple of RBIs. Nathan Houston scored a couple of runs. Balin Sorensen had a couple of doubles, scored 3 times. Corey Waters drove in a couple of runs today with 3 hits and 5 at-bats. So a nice effort by the Berries all around, as again they improved to 2-1 for the year. And so Regina Red Sox fall to 2-1. The attendance today is announced as 2,181, which is a sellout. And the game time today is 2 hours and 43 minutes. Berries' next action will be with you on FloCollege coming up on Monday. The Berries will take on the Swift Current 57s, and that'll be a 7 o'clock game time, and we'll be with you here on FloCollege. So now, on behalf of all the folks here involved with the Saskatoon Berries, we'll even give props to my wife, Verna, who is helping with the camera. Wasn't her fault. We did have some technical glitches today, but that's going to happen with the first day with the new group. Looking forward to working with FloCollege throughout this season. It should be a lot of fun in 2025. But on behalf of all the folks involved with FloCollege, the Saskatoon Berries, I'm Les Lazaruk. We'll talk to you Monday night at 7 o'clock for the Berries and the Swift Current 57s. Have a great rest of your Saturday evening.